Hey, Tim Koch with the Ashokan Watershed Stream Management Program. Today I'm on the Stony Clove Creek in the town of Hunter, New York to help with some geomorphic monitoring work of a large-scale stream restoration and hill slope stabilization project. Almost 3,000 feet of this stream was restored in 2015, and in the following year, the hill slope stabilization project that's behind me was completed. Today we're here in 2020 to do geomorphic monitoring to see if these projects are performing as designed. A number of issues made this site a high priority for restoration. Several nearby homes were damaged by erosion and flooding during Tropical Storm Irene in 2011. Massive hill slope failures were contributing large volumes of sediment to the system, and unstable channel dimensions were leading to excessive sediment deposition in a mid-channel bar. That mid-channel bar was redirecting stream flow towards banks that contained glacial till and lacustrine clay, fine sediments that were degrading water quality and aquatic habitat. The stream restoration work at this site utilized the principles of natural channel design whenever possible. The channel was shaped to very specific, stable dimensions. The stream was reconnected to its floodplain, and in-stream structures like this rock crossvein were installed. Now this is natural channel design. This feature looks relatively natural in this setting, but it serves a very specific purpose of grade control, and it prevents the stream from down-cutting or incising. The failing hill slope was stabilized by grading it to a shallower angle and also installing the drainage swales that you see behind me. This helps prevent further destabilization from groundwater seepage, and it also reduces the fine sediment load reaching the stream.
As part of doing our large-scale restoration sites, we have to get permits from the Army Corps of Engineers. As part of that agreement, we agreed to do 2 or 3 years of project monitoring. We typically monitor for longer than that and to a greater detail than what our permit calls for, because we're also interested in learning from our past projects to inform our future ones. So we like to track what changes are occurring, what has worked well, and what hasn't. As part of our project monitoring, we survey cross-sections. In this site we have 13, and we overlay them from year to year so that we can look for substantial changes between cross-sections. We also measure a longitudinal profile over the entire length of the site that looks for changes in the thalweg and water surface elevations. We also record pebble counts, which are used to both help determine the stream classification as well as track changes in the sediment size distribution in this case. We also take lots of photos during our monitoring so that we get documentation of current conditions, but we also come out during high flow events to capture photos of how the stream performs during the higher flow events. Between our 2016 and 2018 surveys, we haven't detected much change. Streams are always moving, and so we naturally would expect to see some minor change, but we have not seen any erosion or deposition that is excessive. The data that we're collecting today will be added to our previous 2 surveys to continue to inform our site progress.
This large-scale stream restoration and hill slope stabilization project took 2 years to construct and cost over $2 million. Proper planning and design are critical elements to a successful project. But stream restoration is still a relatively new field, and we're learning with each new project we put in the ground. The robust monitoring work that Tiffany and her team do ensure that we learn lessons from these projects, and we learn what works and what doesn't, which will ultimately make our next project even more successful. So thank you, Tiffany, and thank you to her team. And until next time, so long from the Stony Clove Creek in the town of Hunter, New York.